The phone buzzed at 5:42 a.m. on a rainy Thursday in Seattle, lighting up a quiet bedroom most people only saw in magazines. "I'm so sorry, Dr. Kim. Mia and Mason are burning up again. I can't bring them to daycare. I'll have to miss the presentation." That was the message meant for Lauren Harper's boss. Instead, it landed in the hands of Nathan Caldwell, the man whose name appeared on Forbes lists more often than birthday cards. Nathan stared at the unknown number for a long time. He was used to texts about stock prices, private jets, and charity galas. He was not used to texts about feverish 5-year-old twins. Something made him type back before he could talk himself out of it. "I'm not Dr. Kim, but I hope the twins feel better soon. Anything I can do?" Lauren Harper was already on her second cup of coffee and her third prayer when the reply came. She laughed through exhausted tears, typed a quick, "Wrong number, sorry," and went back to rocking Mason while Mia cried softly on the couch. Single motherhood had taught her to expect nothing from strangers. That was the last she thought she'd hear from the mystery number. An hour later, a soft knock came at the door of her small craftsman house in West Seattle. A kind-eyed woman in a navy coat stood on the porch holding 2 small backpacks embroidered with cartoon planets. "Miss Harper, I'm Elena. Mr. Caldwell sent me. I'm a registered nurse, and these bags have everything your children might need today." Lauren's hand flew to her mouth. I don't understand." "Mr. Caldwell received your message by mistake," Elena said gently. "He asked me to make sure the twins are comfortable so you don't lose your job. There's a pediatrician on call, medicine already measured, comfort items the twins like. He somehow knew Mia loves lavender lotion, and Mason only drinks from the blue cup with stars." Lauren felt the world tilt. How could he possibly? Elena's smile was soft. "He just asked me to tell you there's a car outside whenever you're ready. No pressure, just help." Through the window, Lauren saw a silver SUV idling at the curb. No limo, no show. Just quiet and waiting. She looked at her babies, flushed and miserable, then at the stack of bills on the counter and the presentation notes she was supposed to deliver in 3 hours. She closed her eyes, whispered a prayer that sounded more like surrender, and nodded. 20 minutes later, she was buckling car seats while Elena slid behind the wheel. Mia clutched her stuffed orca, Mason his blue starry cup, both of them already calmer because someone had thought of the tiny details that mattered. The drive took them across the bridge to a gated hillside home that looked more like a peaceful retreat than a mansion. Inside, everything smelled like cedar and cinnamon. A gentle older man with silver hair and kind eyes met them at the door. He knelt immediately to the twins' level. "Hi, I'm Nathan," he said simply, as if greeting old friends. "I have a train table in the sunroom and the best chicken soup on the planet. Want to see?" Lauren's heart pounded so hard she could barely speak. This was Nathan Caldwell, the Nathan Caldwell, and he was offering Mason a tissue and asking Mia if lavender lotion really did help her feel brave. While the pediatrician examined the twins in a cozy room filled with books and soft blankets, Nathan led Lauren to the kitchen. He poured her tea like it was the most normal thing in the world. "I owe you an explanation," he said quietly. She braced herself for something clinical, something distant. Instead, he slid a small photograph across the table, an ultrasound image dated 13 years ago. 2 tiny beans side by side. Lauren's breath caught. She knew that date. She had chosen donor 4827 from a clinic binder because his letter to future children had made her cry in the waiting room. He'd written, "I hope you grow up knowing you were wanted, even before you existed."
I was diagnosed with a heart condition shortly after donating, Nathan said, voice steady but low. Doctors told me I'd never have children the usual way. Donating felt like leaving a light on in a room I'd never enter. He looked up, eyes the exact shade of Mason's. I never planned to know you. The clinic promised anonymity, but every year they sent an update, just birth dates, weights, first steps. I kept every letter in a box I never opened in front of anyone. Lauren's tears fell into her tea. You knew about us? He knew about 2 miracles, he corrected gently. I never intended to step into your lives. Then your text came this morning, and I couldn't stay in the shadows anymore. The pediatrician appeared in the doorway. Good news, the fevers are viral, nothing serious. They'll be back to themselves in a day or 2. Mia ran in then, barefoot and smiling, holding a drawing. She climbed straight into Nathan's lap, as if she'd done it 100 times. Look, she said proudly, I drew our family. There's Mommy, me, Mason, and you, because you have the same eyes as my brother, and you smell like Daddy should. Nathan's arms closed carefully around her, and Lauren saw the moment something inside the billionaire cracked wide open. He looked at Lauren over Mia's curly head, eyes shining with unshed tears. I'm not asking to take anything from you, he whispered. I'm just asking if there's room for one more person who already loves them. That afternoon, the twins napped in a bedroom with constellations painted on the ceiling. Lauren sat beside Nathan on the wide porch, watching rain soften into mist over the sound. I can't give you a fairy tale, she said honestly. We have tantrums and laundry mountains, and I burn toast half the time. Nathan smiled, the first real one she'd seen. I have conference calls at 3 a.m. and a heart that acts up when I'm stressed. I'm terrified of breaking their hearts if I get too close, and then... He didn't finish. Lauren reached for his hand. Then we take it one day at a time. Doctor visits, school plays, Sunday pancakes. If you want in, you're in. But you don't buy your way in. You earn it like any parent. He squeezed her fingers like a promise. Seasons turned. Nathan learned the exact pitch of Mia's cry when she had nightmares, and how Mason liked his grilled cheese cut into triangles, not squares. He sat through dance recitals and t-ball games in folding chairs, cheering louder than anyone. When his heart condition required surgery, it was Lauren who held his hand in recovery, and the twins who drew 100 get-well cards taped to his hospital wall. 2 years later, on a golden October evening, Nathan knelt in the backyard treehouse he'd built himself, slowly, carefully, between doctor appointments. He held out 2 small boxes. One contained a ring for Lauren. The other held 2 silver pendants engraved with tiny constellations. I can't promise forever, he told them, voice thick. But I can promise every single today I'm given. Mia and Mason tackled him in a hug that nearly knocked him over. Lauren said yes through happy tears. Sometimes the greatest gifts arrive disguised as wrong numbers at 5:42 a.m. Sometimes love isn't about creating a child. It's about showing up day after day for the ones already here. And sometimes the family you're meant to have finds you when you least expect it and stays. If this story warmed your heart the way it did mine, share it with someone who needs reminding that love still writes the best plot twists of all.